Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make this cute bow hair clip. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and let's get into it. The materials you're going to need is a yarn of your choice, a pair of knitting needles, a Barrett hair clip, a ruler, a pair of scissors, a sewing needle, and also some super glue. To get started, we need to cast on 14 stitches, so I'm just going to show you how to cast on here and then speed through casting on all 14 stitches. So I now have all 14 stitches on my needle, and what we've got to do now is knit. So we're going to do a couple of knit stitches, and this is the only stitch you need for this project, which is great because it's a nice easy basic one. We're going to be knitting until our piece is about 8 centimeters long, or 8.5 centimeters, to get a really good sized bow. So I'm just showing you here how to do a knit stitch a couple of times, and we will speed through until we've got the piece the size that we want it. So I've already cast off my piece and I'm just checking how long it is, which is about 8 centimeters. I do have a clip in this video showing you how to cast off, so I will put the timestamp in the comments and you can just hop to that chapter. Now we're going to start our second square or second rectangle, which is 6 stitches on our needle. So I'm just casting on 6 stitches for us to create that second piece. And ideally we want to knit that until it's about the height of our first piece, just a tiny bit shorter, because it's going to wrap around the bow, which you will see in a second. And we're going to just work in knit stitch again until that piece reaches that length and we're happy with it. As you can see, so I've finished my piece, which I need to cast off, but this is how we're going to join those two pieces together. We're going to use that shorter piece and wrap it around our bigger rectangle, and then we're going to stitch the ends together once we've cast off. And that is how we're going to get our bow shape. And I think it looks great. I'm really pleased with it so far, and I hope your knitting is going well. So we're going to go and cast off now. So what we need to do is knit 2 stitches onto our other needle. So I've just grabbed my other needle and I'm popping that through to knit the first stitch, and then we're going to knit the second stitch. Once you've got 2 stitches on your needle, what you want to do is pull that first stitch over the top of the second one. I prefer using my fingers, I just find it easier than trying to weave the needle through, and we're going to do that until we have 1 stitch left on our needle. So I'm just knitting that last stitch and pulling the first one that's left on it over the top, and now I only have 1 stitch on my needle. And what we want to do is grab a pair of scissors and cut the tail end of our yarn, but we want to leave enough to weave through and be able to stitch the 2 pieces on either side of this rectangle together. And I'm going to weave that tail end through that final loop so it creates a knot, and just pull tight. I'm just going to trim the excess off the larger rectangle, and then I'm going to wrap the thinner of the 2 around the larger rectangle to create our bow shape. Using the tail ends and a sewing needle, what we want to do is stitch the 2 ends of the same piece, so that smaller piece, together, and we're going to sew this together until we have secured the piece in place, so just weaving in and out of stitches from either side. I'm just going to continue weaving them together, and then I'm going to check my bow to make sure I'm happy with it before I secure it using a knot. Now I'm just cutting away the excess because I'm going to be gluing this onto a clip. However, if you're using it for something else, you might want to keep those just to stitch it to something or weave them in. So that's our bow done and dusted. What I'm going to show you now is just how I attach it to the barrette clip using super glue. So here is my clip. I have this very old dry looking super glue that I had to cut the end off, and I'm just going to liberally apply it to the top of the clip. I'm just pressing my bow exactly where I want it and pressing pretty hard just to make sure it all sticks, and applying pressure. Then you want to leave it to dry for an hour or 2, especially before you put it in your hair, and that is your bow, your hair clip, done and dusted. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe. Let me know any tutorials you want to see in the comments, and I will see you next time.